More than 22,000 foreign fighters are in Syria and Iraq. That's according to a United Nations report obtained by American media outlets. And focusing on the bigger picture, the UN says that globally, more than 25,000 foreign fighters from 100 countries have flocked to fight with groups like ISIL and Al-Qaeda. CCTV's Nathan King is in our Washington newsroom with more. Nathan.
Yeah, thanks, Elaine. Yeah, these figures just continue to grow and grow, and the UN now calling Syria and Iraq a, quote, veritable finishing school for extremists. We all know about the foreign recruits like Jihadi John from the UK and those 3 schoolgirls also from London. But the UN report says that foreign fighters are from diverse communities across the world, 100 countries in all, lured by slick online recruitment videos that appeal to many people from different backgrounds. The UN says there are 22,000 foreign fighters in Syria and Iraq, 6,500 in Afghanistan, and hundreds more in Yemen, Libya, Pakistan, and Somalia. This study on foreign fighters stems from a Security Council meeting last year presided over by US President Barack Obama. Other world leaders were there too, and they passed a resolution compelling countries to make it a criminal offense to travel abroad to fight with groups like ISIL. Well, that really hasn't happened, and nearly every day seems to bring new attacks, whether it be what we were reporting all afternoon here, militant Somali group Al-Shabaab in Kenya, as we just saw with a school attack on Thursday, or the attack on Wednesday by ISIL on a Palestinian refugee camp. The reports also warned that if there's a military victory against ISIL, it could scatter hundreds of seasoned, well-trained fighters across the world. There is, of course, the threat of homegrown attacks, too, inspired by groups like ISIL. We saw the announcement just a few hours ago of the arrest of 2 women in Brooklyn, New York, accused of planning an ISIL operation in New York City. Elaine?
So, Nathan, what can be done to stem this flow?
Yeah, well, it's caught a lot of governments, including the US, by surprise. We had that conference on radicalization, and trying to work out ways of monitoring those who may become radicalized and maybe de-radicalizing those who are tempted to join ISIL, Al-Qaeda and other groups. But also a lot of suggestions from the UN and elsewhere to look at anti-terrorism policy, perhaps drone attacks targeting the leaders of terrorist organizations don't actually solve the problems that create terrorism on the ground in the regions in the first place. So lots of work to do in terms of inside the borders and outside as well.
All right, CCTV's Nathan King in our Washington newsroom.